शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये दोर्भिर्युक्ता चतुर्भिः स्फटिकमणिमयी अक्षमालां ददाना हस्तेनैकेन पद्मं सितमपि च शुकं पुस्तकं चापरेण वासा कुन्देन्दुशङ्ख स्फटिकमणिनिभा भासमाना समाना सा मे वाग्देवतेयं निवसतु वदने सर्वदा सुप्रसन्ना कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिम् यः पिबेत् सततं रामचरितामृतसागरम् अतृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेदसमकल्मषम् गोष्पदीकृतवाराशिम् अशकीकृतराक्षसम् रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजम् अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम् उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धोः सलिलं सलीलं यः शोकवह्निं जनकात्मजायाः आदाय तेनैव ददाह लङ्कां नमामि तं प्राञ्जलिराञ्जनेयम् आञ्जनेयमदिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनम् यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम् वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः प्रदम् वाक्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम् नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय देव्यै च तस्यै जनकात्मजायै नमोऽस्तु रुद्रेन्द्रयमानिनेभ्यो नमोऽस्तु चन्द्रार्कमरुद्गणेभ्यः let's start. So last time, if you remember, we were looking at Aranyakanda, or in fact we just started with Aranyakanda, the introduction of Aranyakanda, wherein now slowly Rama, Sita and Lakshmana, they are proceeding towards Dandakaranya. They've just entered Dandakaranya, they meet Agastya, they want to stay in Agastya's ashrama and so on. And then towards the end we were also discussing the time period that has been mentioned as per Srimad Bhagavatam. So we had seen the lifespan of Brahma, lifespan of Pitrus, and lifespan of human beings. That is there. Further, we have the duration of all the four yugas. Krita Yuga is nothing but Satya Yuga. Okay. So Krita, now here there is a typing error. Just note that Krita Yuga is nothing but Satya Yuga. Where it is mentioned Satya Yuga, that should be Treta Yuga. And then Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. So Satya Yuga or Krita Yuga, second Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. So their duration in celestial years and human years has been calculated. So what is the cycle that is there? So daytime of Brahma is 1000 yugas, night time of Brahma is another 1000 yugas. One day of Brahma is one kalpa. So kalpa is nothing but together, both of these together. So roughly you can consider more than 86 lakh, not 86 lakh, crores it goes. So this is how is the life of one Brahma. Now Brahma also is the name of a padavi, name of a position. So after this duration, this time period gets over, we have a new Brahma who sits on that position. But now why, though we don't consider this Brahma as to be a position and as a goddess, this time period, if you consider, is too huge, right? So there is no question of some other Brahma coming in. Of course, that is a position, but then it is beyond, you can say, beyond perception or beyond one can imagine. So therefore, we consider it to be like a proper noun only, Indra, Brahma, and so on. Next is the different Indriyas and the gods who are presiding on them. So mouth is by Agni, nostrils is Vayu. Next is eyes is Suryaha. Yours is Digdevata. Digdevata is the deities ruling over all four directions, or you can say all the different 10 directions. Skin and air, Oshadi Vanaspatayaha. On different mantras, you have different gods. The mention of these different gods that come in. Next is reproductive organs, Apaha. Apaha. Anus is Mrityu, hands Indraha, legs Vishnu, blood vessels is Nadyaha, different rivers because blood keeps flowing, rivers also keep flowing. Abdomen is Sagaraha, we keep filling in things, right? It's quite huge. Heart and mind Chandraha, it should always be pure and cool, our heart and mind. Buddhi is Brahma, ego Rudraha, Chitta Kshetrajnaha. Kshetrajnaha is the gods, or you can say the deities who rule over different places, that is Kshetrajnaha. So all this comes in the Srimad Bhagavata Puranam. Just for your reference, you can note it. Ah, yes, Rajendra Kumar. First one. Yeah. Now, Brahma, how he starts the process of creation. Now, little this has been mentioned, though it is not directly related to the Ramayana. Little why this reference is given is even in the Valmiki Ramayanam, if you see, little bit topics come about creation, time period, time measurement, and so on. That is the reason it is mentioned. But it is given in very, you can say, in short, very brief. It is. That's the reason why we have reference from the Srimad Bhagavatam that has been taken. How life started and how Brahma starts the process of creation with five, you can say Ajnanam or ignorance. So, Tamas, Moha, Maha, Tamishra, and Andhata Mishra. So Tamas is nothing but ignorance, not being aware of one's own reality. Moha, getting attracted towards things. This belongs to me, that belongs to me. Mahamoha is, you can consider Moha, Mahamoha. So enjoyment, craving, looking at something, I want that. Tamishra is anger, and Andhata Mishra is death is the final thing that will happen. That is not believing in life after death also. So that ultimately one friend I'm going to die. So let me make the best use of it. Let me not put in a lot of efforts that way. So like some people have this right. Anyway, one day you're going to die. So enjoy what you have now. Of course, to some extent that is correct. But then too much, if you get into that, death is not the ultimate because our culture it believes that there is something even after death. That's the reason we believe in karma and so. Next, four sons were born to Brahma. They were his Manasaputras, the four Sanat Kumaras, Sanata, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. Then 12 Rudras were born, 10 more sons. That is the 10 Rishis were born. Marichi, Atri, Angirasa, Pulastya, Pulaha, Kritu, Bhrigu, Vasishta, Daksha, and Narada. All knowledge, the different ways of knowledge were born. Vedas, Vedangas, Itihasas. Vedas are four Vedas, Vedangas, six Vedangas, Itihasas, Ramayana, Mahabharatam. Gayatris, other Vedic meters, Gayatri, Anushtup, Chandup, and then other ways of knowledge. Next, you have creations from the body of Brahma. From the lap, Narada came in, but from the thumb, Daksha came. Breath, Vasishta. Skin, Bhrigu. Like this, for each of the body parts of Brahma, different rishis came in. So when we call Manasa Putras, doesn't mean that only from the mind someone comes in. Like each of these parts, they represent some rishi that is there. That's how the process of creation starts. And the different qualities also that are there: adharma, kama, anger, greed, vak, oceans, and so on. Next. Finally, again, we start with Aranyakandam. So basically, if you see in between, what comes is A little bit the topic talks about creation, how time starts and how Brahma started the process of creation, how different beings came into existence, how different qualities were there, how different feelings came in, how the rishis were born, and that's how from there the lineage starts. That's the reason even till date, those who chant their Abhivadana, those who have the Yajnaopavitam, we chant the name of few rishis, right? That is to trace back our lineage from where we have come in. So from rishis starts the process of creation. Now finally, Aranyakandam, Rama enters Panchavati. So from Chitrakuta, Rama, Sita, Lakshmana leave. They further move on. They meet Agastya. Agastya gives them a lot of weapons that are there to both Rama and Lakshmana. Finally, they ask him a place also where we can live. Finally, they settle down in Panchavati. Lakshmana builds a beautiful hut, and that's how they settle down in Panchavati, which is in today's Nasik district of Maharashtra. You have the river Godavari flowing nearby. Finally, Rama reaches a place. He identifies a beautiful place and he builds a hermitage. Then he describes the beauty. So in detail, you have the description of the beauty. Finally, they take bath in the Godavari. They do their rituals. Just as whenever we visit any river place like Ganga, Yamuna, and so on, they also do their rituals there and they begin to live happily. But you never know what is going to happen later. What are the Rakshasas who are going to come? Sita is going to be abducted. So they do not think about all this and they live about happily. Next, now winter season starts to come in, and winter season is how the atmosphere was around. That description is given. Lakshmana now thinks about everything what Bharata will be doing now. Though he has taken your Paduka and gone away, what exactly will he be doing? Will he be ruling the kingdom or would he be? Now they don't know that he would have been settled on the outskirts of Ayodhya as an ascetic wearing bark garments. He would be living in Nandigrama. All this Rama and Lakshmana they do not know, right? Though he says that I will do that, still he has taken the Paduka. So maybe he might also rule as a normal king and so on. So like this, such thoughts come to their mind. So basically, they just keep talking about their brothers and other family members in Ayodhya. So Rama also thinks about all this and he feels that all four brothers should now live together. We should be reunited as a family and so on. Next, this is Sarga 60. Now, little bit we have to go a bit back talking about Sarga 14. Now, why Sarga 14? Because there is where you have the mention of creation that is explained in detail, and that's the reason I mentioned those. We saw the references from Srimad Bhagavatam. Jatayu, Rama meets Jatayu. While they were on the way to Panchavati, at that time they meet Jatayu. And he then, so before actually, now usually the normal story that goes is Rama meets Jatayu only later, after Sita is abducted. But as per references, you have the story that Rama initially, as per Valmiki Ramayanam, Rama had already met Jatayu before, and that's when Jatayu there gives a promise that I will always protect Sita because this forest is very dangerous. Obviously, they did not know what is going to happen in future, but the same thing happened. And this is when he talks about the creation process in detail. This is the same slide that I showed you now of creation process. So just for your reference, you can note down from where this concept came in of talking about creation and so on. It is because Rama and Jatayu they have a conversation. Jatayu explains the creation process in detail. It is just one chapter that is there, Sarga 14 of Aranyakanda. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is explained more in detail. Okay, next. Sarga 17. I miss out anything? Yeah, Sarga 16 is they have the description of the winter season. Next now, Sarga 17, Shurpanakha. Finally, she comes, she meets Rama, she wants to be his wife. And so basically, in those times, now there are many stories with regards to Shurpanaka's life. So the most popular story that is there with regards to Shurpanaka is she already had an enmity with Ravana because her husband was killed by Ravana in a battle. So that is the reason there are some side stories that tell that Shurpanaka somehow wanted to bring about the end of Ravana. So she found out a means also. But now this story that is there, we cannot consider it 100% like the things would have happened in reality, but then this was a way of Shurpanaka taking revenge is little difficult because Shurpanaka little if she really wanted someone to take revenge, she never knew that Rama and Lakshmana would kill Ravana in a war, and so on. So therefore, some references say that Shurpanaka wanted to take revenge against Ravana, and that's when she designed all this entire plot. She did not go and tell her brothers what she did. She just told that no, Lakshmana cut off my nose and so on. So this is one part of the story that is there. But ultimately now Rakshasa Dharma is something wherein they don't have the concept of maybe one husband, one wife that is there. That is point number one. Or even our society also didn't have this practice. We believed in polygamy, polyandry, and so on. There's one person having many wives or one wife having many husbands. You have Ramayana, Mahabharata for this as best examples. Today's society, of course, things have changed. So today's dharma is different. Dharma in the sense, dharma is eternal that we have to follow, which has been following. Dharma in the sense, depending on the society as time period changes, we have certain laws that are passed in. And now, when we say polygamy, polyandry existed then, and today then why it is only monogamy or something like that, that is only one wife and husband, why laws are passed on today. Those times, the life structure, or you can say lifestyle, was also different. People lived in kingdoms, people had a lot of money. So therefore, you could afford to have many partners, many children, and so on. Lifespan was also more. Today, in the span of 100 years, a person cannot have two or three wives and so on, and we cannot even take care of one family, then to think about others, right? So therefore, everything was different altogether. Lifespan was different, life structure was different. And in those times, again, when you had the concept of kings that were there, or kingdom that was being ruled about, at that time what used to happen is whenever one king defeated another king, those times that king's daughter or princess, now one was a popular method of Swayamvara, wherein the bride itself could choose her husband, or maybe they had to keep some, you can say like Arjuna, he had to show his archery skills, or maybe Rama had to break a bow. So some conditions like this were being kept, and then the husband and wife used to marry. Or there was another thing is when you can say one place, one kingdom's king used to defeat another king, that land's daughter or a princess, they used to be married to this king. So basically, as a sense of protection that was there, or even the best story of a best example would be the story of Narakasura. Narakasura, who had married many princesses, and then later, all the princesses, those girls, they cried out to Krishna that now who will take care of us? We'll not have any respect in the society and such things. So at that time, Krishna said that I will give you protection. And now to give protection, now you cannot just now even in today's times also, if you have to, if a man and a woman have to stay together, the only way is marriage, right? Though nowadays you have other things that are being told, but still apart from that, little it becomes difficult to live in the society. So you imagine the same thing that happened in Dwapara Yuga. So Krishna ended up marrying all these wives, but before he married all of them, he told that I have just married you for the sake of protection. I will ensure that all of you are protected. Separate palaces will be built for all of you, but more than that, none of us will get into the family way. So only with this Ashtamahishis he could get children. He lived with them, and that too also through each of his Vajramavati, Lakshmana, Satyabhama, Rukmini, out of his 8 Mahishis, Mahishis, 8 chief queens, he went the family way. Apart from that, all the other queens who were there were given protection. One more example comes in the Ramayana also in the case of Dasharatha. Dasharatha is said to have more than 350 wives, 350 roughly. This number comes in the Ramayana itself. But what is destiny had to play a role wherein out of all these wives also only with three of them, three chief queens, Kaushalya, Sumitra, Kaikeyi, were his chief queens. Out of that, Kaushalya was the first, or you can say the eldest queen. But destiny had to show their colors. He could not beget even one child. He ended up doing the Putrakameshti Yajna, and through the first three wives only he went the family way. So basically, marriage in those times was something wherein you get married and you beget children. That was not only one part that was there. Basically, to give protection, or when that land's king is defeated, the king maybe he might go to he might follow vanaprastha ashrama, sannyasa ashrama, he might go to the forest live and so on. But for the ladies in that land, it will used to be become difficult. Who is there to take care of them? Therefore, the king who has won over, he will come and he will take care. This was what being told, and this was the practice that was there. But they were very strict. If you see, marriage system in those times was not just plainly to beget children and to increase the vamsha that was there. That was only one part, that will be limited to maybe two or three queens who are there. Apart from that, all the other queens basically were given protection. So here also Shurpanaka, but this is limited only to Naradharmam. Now why I'm telling you all this is limited for Manushya Dharma. For human beings, this is Dharma. For Rakshasas, they don't have this dharma. That's the reason people who maybe get in touch with another, some physical relationship with some other's wife or husband also, it is considered to be papa or sin. But this is Manushya Dharma, Manava Dharmam, Deva Dharmam, not for Rakshasas. Rakshasas don't follow this at all. That's the reason in the case of Ravana also, or in the case of Shurpanaka and people like this. Ravana basically, that was the greatest sin which he had. He was a very good man. If you see good qualities, good man in the sense he had a lot of good qualities. One of the greatest Shiva Bhaktas. The composition made by him, Shivatandava Stotram, till date we chant, right? Jatatavi Galajjala Prabaha Pavitastale Galevalam Bidam Bhujangatunga Damattaman Ninada Vaddamarvayam Chakar Tarandavam Tanotu na Shiva Shivam, and so on. Shivatandava Sotram, even till date we chant in praise of Lord Shiva. He had even he went to the extent of lifting up Kailasa mountain. Such was his tapasya that he used to do. He was a great Veena player. He had all the three worlds under his control. He had all the riches. Though he had stolen them from Kubera, he had all the Navagrahas under his control. All the gods were threatened by him. He had all the riches of the world. He was blessed with good children, or you can say great warriors like Indrajita and so on. It was very difficult to even defeat Indrajit. Indrajit had got a boon that his powers were so much that only a person who had not slept for about many years, I think roughly the number is given as 14 years, only he can kill a person. That's the reason Lakshmana could kill, because Lakshmana is believed to not have slept for 14 years. So, like this, everything was there, but one ill what he did is, I think I lost connection. Okay, can all of you hear me? Is it fine now? I think I lost connection. Yeah, sorry, I think I lost connection. Huh. So here, Ravana had only one flaw that was there is he used to always abduct another person's wife who was there and get into physical relationship with them, impregnate them, and something. Such things were always being done. In fact, books people sometimes you should always be careful. Why I'm highlighting on this is sometimes people, modern authors that are there, they will try to portray the character of Ravana very nicely and he was something so great and so on. In fact, he did not do anything wrong. Shurpanaka, his nose, her nose, he just fought for the rights of his sister and so on. But this was just one incident of Sita. In fact, he had, you can say, even with Kubera's wife, you go to so many apsaras who were there, he had all got curses from them. He used to go to Swargaloka, behave badly, snatch other people's wives. With apsaras, he used to behave, you can say, molest them, rape them. Such many cases were there. Then you also have Vedavati, Sita's previous incarnation were there. Now these stories that are there, they are some Puranic references. Or you can say in other scriptures, folklores, not folklores, basically Puranic references, not much into Valmiki Ramayanam. But you have such things that have been done by Ravana, which is not that much highlighted. Because Ravana, okay, only one, the main story. In the main story of Ravana, you have just the abduction of Sita that is there, and then how he treats her, or maybe Shurpanaka she comes and told, and then people tell that no, he just fought for his sister's rights. To fight for your sister's rights, you don't have to abduct someone else's wife, right? You could have directly raged a war with Rama if he had that enmity. So, like this, there are things. So we have to be very, very careful when such rumors are being told because there is some previous story also associated with Ravana, and Ravana had mainly two chief queens. Mandodari was a chief one, and there was one more. Like this, he had many queens who were there, but through Mandodari and his other wife, he had few children whom he had begetted. And Mandodari also, till the last minute, she keeps on telling Ravana that you now Mandodari basically she belonged to the Rakshasa kulam. Ravana, if you see, it was an intercaste marriage in those times. Rishi was his father. His father belonged to the Pulasya Kula. He comes in, and in that his wife, he had two wives. The Pula Ravana's father had two wives. One was uh, an Asura, and another was, you can say, Kubera's mother who was there. She was a normal lady. You can say. So that's how Ravana and Kubera, if you say, they're actually cousin brothers, not real brothers. So Ravana, Vibhishana, Kumbhakarna, they were real brothers, but they belong to the Asura Kula. And that's how they developed those qualities and so on. So like this, there are many references that come. Whereas, so he married fully Mandodari, who belonged to the Rakshasa Kula only. Her grandfather was there, her father was there. Like this, they had she though she belonged to the Rakshasa Kula, she had some good qualities. So here, what why I'm telling you all this is just because we belong to some Kula doesn't mean we'll have those qualities. Best example, Prahlada, or even Vibhishana for that matter. Though they were born in the Rakshasa Kula, they did not have those qualities. Same thing is applicable to all of us. We might be born in a good Kula, but the way you behave, that's how shows, right? So if you have some Asuri qualities or so, we are equal to being a Rakshasa. If you, now, you have things like maybe murdering others or stealing others, you might be born as a human being, but you end up doing such things, you are also equal to a Rakshasa. So here Shurpanaka finally now coming back, Shurpanaka comes and she meets Rama. Now she had the powers of changing her form. She feels that these two human beings who are there, they might be afraid of my dreadful form. So she changes her form into a very beautiful lady, a maiden lady, and she comes and meets Rama. Now she looks at now they have those powers of flying in the sky. You can say moving about in the sky. Let's not say flying, leaping in the sky. So she comes and she sees a hermitage where Rama and Lakshmana were there. She looks at Rama. Now Rama was a one lot of physical, you can say, beauty. Used to look very good, a gym body man having all good qualities. And Ajanubam, 8 feet tall. His hands used to touch his knee. So a very good personality. So Shurpanaka, as usual, was attracted. She comes down and she meets Shurpanaka and she directly goes and meets Rama and tells, "Who are you? Where have you come?" and so on. Rama, like any other man, he feels normally someone is asking. He tells, "I belong to so and so place. I'm the son of Dashratha. I live in Ayodhya. Come here." Now he asks about Shurpanaka and she also tells who I am. I'm the sister of Ravana and so on. Rama is fine, and then Shurpanaka directly she tells her desire that I want to marry you. So at this time, now it was not wrong on Shurpanaka's part to ask this because at that time society was accepting this. They one man had many marriages and they used to directly come and approach. So Rama at this time he says that highlights very beautifully. He says, "Whatever you wish is fine. I respect that, but I've taken the vow. You see Sita who's there. She's my wife." And suddenly, he highlights that I've taken the vrata of Ekapatni vrata. So therefore, I can be married only once. I cannot marry multiple times. So basically, if you see, Sita is not the problem as such because I've taken the vow. So here he highlights that especially because in those times society was accepting it. So there at the time, no, I already have Sita. If I say, she'll say, okay, you have another wife. That was quite common. So therefore, Rama highlights that. She tells, no, but she pesters him. At that time, Rama very nicely says, you go and maybe go and ask Lakshmana. Though he has come, now Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna also followed this rule. But then at this present moment, his wife Urmila was not here. So therefore, Rama tells, you go and ask Lakshmana if he is ready for that. And it's again everyone's personal choice, right? They might not follow all these Vratas and so on. Now let's see how she introduces herself. रावणो नाम मे भ्राता बलीयान् राक्षसेश्वरः वीरो विश्रवसः पुत्रः यदि ते श्रोत्रमागतः. Now the way she introduces herself is full of pride. My brother is Ravana, son of Vishrava. Vishrava is a sage who was married twice. That is one Rakshasi and another who was a mother of Ravana and another woman who was a mother of Kubera. So there she says, Yadite Shtotramagataha, you would have surely heard about him. Now, though he was the ruler of the three worlds, still here itself, while we introduce someone, pride comes in. Now, when someone tells us to introduce, we don't tell her, you would have surely heard, right? Maybe we sometimes we tell, maybe to make the person understand. Apart from that, we don't show our pride also and say, you would have surely heard about me and so on. We don't say that. But here, the Rakshasa Dharma, her the attributes, the qualities that are there, it shows in the way she speaks. प्रवृद्धनिद्रश्च सदा कुम्भकर्णो महाबलः विभीषणस्तु धर्मात्मा न तु राक्षसचेष्टितः प्रख्यातवीर्यौ चरणे भ्रातरौ खरदूषणौ. She says Kumbhakarna is another brother. He's strong, but he's always in sleep. Another is Vibhishana. She herself says he is a Dharmatma, follower of Dharma. And Natu Rakshasa Cheshtitaha. He does not have the qualities of Rakshasas at all. Further, he says, I have two more brothers, Khara and Dushana. They are also well known. So finally now, so she listens all this. Now why this portion only has highlighted is to just make all of us know the way Shurpanaka addresses and introduces herself. Next is now Rama tells, you go and meet my brother Lakshmana. You just ask her. So now what happens is Shurpanaka goes to Lakshmana and speaks. And Lakshmana, he goes and Lakshmana tells, who are you and so on. So then she tells, no, Rama has said me, I want to marry. Lakshmana tells, no, no. First of all, you see, Lakshmana here, the conversation is very interesting. He tells, you are saying what happened. Now, he was cutting some logs of wood or something that was needed for cooking purpose. Lakshmana tells, you are seeing, right, what I'm doing. Here I'm living as a dasaha of Rama and Lakshmana, Rama and Sita. I'm serving them. If you want to become a dasi, you are welcome. You have to serve them. Now, this was a grave insult to Shurpanaka. How dare you call me a dasi? So it's better that you go back to Rama only. So she tells, no, no, how can I live like a dasi? That is not at all possible. So she tells, okay, you go back to Rama only. He will only tell you. You go and pester him once more. So basically, they were playing with her a little, but playing in the sense because she came to approach them. So little they tell her, you go from here, there, and so on. And then Lakshmana goes, Shurpanaka goes there, goes and tells Rama, Rama told, I already told you I'm married once, I follow Ekapatni Vrata, so it is not possible. Now Shurpanaka comes to a conclusion that this problem is Sita. Because you married Sita, today you are not marrying me. And she goes to eat her. She changes her form, she gets into her original Rakshasa Rupa, she goes to swallow down Sita. At that time, Lakshmana comes and attacks, cuts off her ears and nose, and then she goes running to Khara. Now, here also attack on women, is it right or wrong? Here this question comes. If the opposite party attacks, now here Shurpanaka came to attack Sita and eat her up, so there was no option, it had to be done. Same thing happened with Tadaka also. When Rama and Lakshmana had gone along with Vishwamitra, again the question comes, can women be attacked as per Shastram? If there is no option, if the woman, Tadaka or be Shurpanaka, if they are not behaving rightly like human beings, like women who are there, if they are causing harm to the society, there is no other option. If the world is going to be tormented by them, such a person should be killed, irrespective of being a man or woman. If you are a woman and as per dharma, if a woman should not be killed, then they should also follow that dharma. If the opposite person is not doing that, then at that time dharma has to be broken. So here the same thing happens and Lakshmana ends up attacking. He just cuts her ears and nose. So basically, it was insult, right? Cutting off ears and nose of a person is insult. So he does not kill her altogether. This was grave insult for Shurpanaka. She runs to her brother Khara. Now Khara, Dushana, Trishiras. These were three brothers, three of them, who had their, you can say, kingdom in the nearby area of Panchapati. So she first goes to them. Katham da, now here that is the verse it comes in. Katham dasasya me dasi bharya bhavitumicchati sohamargena paravan bhatra kamalavarnini. Lakshmana says, how can you become my dasi or so? And why do you want to be so? I'm already dependent on him. I'm already serving him. Do you want to join me? It's better you go away. Samriddhartha समृद्धार्थस्य सिद्धार्थ मुदिता मलवर्णिनी आर्यस्य त्वं विशालाक्षी भार्या भवयवीयसी. So he sends back and tells, you become the younger wife of my master, of my brother. You live a happy life. He looks quite good. So you are also looking good. So instead of becoming a dasi, you approach my elder brother only. इत्युक्तो लक्ष्मणस्तस्य क्रुद्धो रामस्य पार्श्वतः उद्धृत्य खड्गं चिच्छेद कर्णनासं महाबलः. So when Shurpana came to attack Sita, at that time as instructed by Rama, comes Lakshmana and cuts off her nose and ears. ततस्तु सा राक्षससङ्गसंवृतं खरं जनस्थानगतं विरूपिता उपेत्य तं भ्रातरमुग्रदर्शनं पपात भूमौ गगनाध्यता शनिः. It seems that Khara and all the demons, they sat there at Janasthana, a place near Nasik today, and there she fell down, it seems, because of the cutting that was done after cutting off her ears and nose. Khara becomes very angry and he sends only 14 demons, Chaturdasha. And now Shurpanaka, she tells everything is blood, this, that, only 14. Now you see how the thing is, only Chaturdasha, 14 demons were being sent. Later he ended up sending 14,000 demons in order to defeat that one Rama. Rama killed up all of them. So he initially felt that only 14 are enough. That slowly the number started increasing. It became 14,000. Finally, Khara Dushana were also killed by Rama. कालपाशं समासर्ज्य कट्टे मोहान् न बुध्यते यस्त्वामद्य समासाद्य पीतवान् विषमुत्तमम्. Khara says, who is this who is going to die at my hands, who has done this to you, and so on. तस्याष्टान्द्रजुवृत्तायाः तयोष्टहतयोरहं सफेनं पातुमिच्छामि रुधिरं रणमूर्धनि. So Shurpanaka narrates everything and then Khara gets very angry. He says, I'm going to attack the brother, I'm going to attack that lady Sita and so on. And he sends 14 demons. Rama sees. Now here itself when Shurpanaka returns back, Rama very nicely, he tells Lakshmana that now slowly we have entered the Dandakaranya forest. We have been warned by all the rishis and sages whom we met early. So therefore now Shurpanaka also is one of those ladies who is not going to give up easily. She will surely send some of the Rakshasas to ensure that we are attacked. So we have to be very, very careful. So Rama was ready for that. Finally, he sees the 14 demons approaching. He tells Lakshmana, you take care of Sita. Rama kills all the 14 demons. And now Shurpanaka, she was very smart. She comes through the aerial way and she was a witness. She sees what exactly happens to Rama. Is he being killed also? When she saw that all the demons were being defeated, again she runs back to Khara and tells what happened. So she does the work of a messenger. एहि बाहुप्रयुक्तैर्नः परिगैशूलपट्टिसैः प्राणास्यक्ष्यसि वीर्यं च धनुश्चकरपीडितम्. Now demons, it seems that they had a lot of spears and all the different weapons that usually Rakshasas have. And they challenge Rama saying that you are going to lose your bow soon, you are going to lose your strength soon, you are going to attack you and so on. ते भिन्नहृदया भूमौ छिन्नमूला इव द्रुमाः निपेतुः शोणिताद्राङ्गा विकृता विगता समः. Finally, what happens is they lose all their lives. Rama kills all of them. Finally, Shurpanaka tells that she provokes him, saying that now how to provoke is you are such a great warrior, but still see what has happened. For the first time ever, someone has defeated you. All the 14 demons are killed by one single person, Rama. So basically, she tries to provoke Khara. Khara gets very angry, and finally, he sends uh, more demons. He himself goes in order to fight with Rama. शूरमानेन शूरस्त्वं मिथ्यारोपितविक्रमः मानुषौ यो न शक्नोषि हन्तुं तौ रामलक्ष्मणौ. Shurpanaka provoked, saying that you call yourself a big hero, a big demon. You are not able to kill two human beings, Rama and Lakshmana. So whatever, all the heroism that you're claiming, everything is false. You're not a hero, this, that. She provokes him. निस्सत्त्वस्याल्पवीर्यस्य वासस्ते कीदृशस्पृह अपयाहि जनस्थानात् त्वरितः सह बान्धवः. He tells him you have to leave from this place as all, you are not fit to live here, and so on. So in such words, she provokes Khara. Khara, as usual, gets very angry. And then yeah, the nature of Shurpanaka and Khara is being seen. Shurpanaka, passion delusion. First of all, looking at Rama, she became passionate. She wanted to marry him. Second is she had a lot of temptations that were there. Second, then lastly, after she was being insulted, at that time anger rooted. She, when she went and narrated the story, she just told that Rama and Lakshmana, they have cut off my ears and nose. She did not narrate what she did actually. So this was one thing which went wrong, and this tries to teach a lesson that before coming or jumping down to any conclusions, we must have, you can say, do not, that's the reason we say, right, don't listen to only one side of the story. Before knowing the other side, we should never comment or take any action, because obviously, now say for example, if a third person is a witness, both the people will have to put their points, right? But usually what happens is we listen to only what one person, the person who's there in our favor or so, only to, of that person, whatever he has to say, we listen to only that and then we believe them. But of course, if there are our close relations, friends or so, you can believe. But still, everyone at the end of the day will try to only prove themselves right. Now, sometimes it happens even with us, right? Even though we know that what we are doing is wrong, we'll put our best efforts to prove that yes, what I told is correct. Maybe we'll make up something. No, I did not mean this. Actually, this, that's something we do, right? But it becomes very difficult to accept that what I say is wrong, because maybe if we are maybe in a very close circle also, sometimes we might accept, oh, by mistake it happened. But maybe in a, you can say, around with other people also, somehow we try to make up, right? Oh, this is what I meant, but I put it another way. Someday we tell and we try to, you can say, disclose, close the topic altogether. Same thing happened with Shurpanaka also. But here, what she did was, she just tries to show her part of the story. Haradushana also believed, because ultimately she was their sister, so they had to believe, and the insult that was done to her, she could not bear. So from their part, there was something which they made wrong. That was Shurpanaka. First of all, she did not tell her part of the story, what she did. But then Karadushana also did not put in efforts to know what exactly happened. They could have sent some Dutas also or anyone. Then maybe they could have found out what it is. If that would have done, maybe the future Ravana would have been avoided. The abduction of Sita, the Rama Ravana Yuddham, and so on. But that was destiny that that had to happen. So we cannot think over that, but then before jumping to any conclusion or before taking any decision, but whenever you have to listen, someone is telling something, you have to always listen to what is the other part of the story, because everyone at the end of the day will try to prove only themselves right. If you are told to take some decision, we must know the entire story. We always ask, right? Say for example, small children sometimes come, rather, it should be asked, what did you do? We ask, right? Oh, I did not do anything, the child says. He only did everything. He only hit me first. Before that, oh, did you hit the child some? Did you hit him few days back? No, I did not do anything. The child very nicely says. Then slowly you ask him twice or thrice, huh, maybe one day I touched him, right? Something like that, slowly the child conveys. So this is something wherein the other part of the story, if you don't pay attention, it can lead to mass destruction like it happened in the Ramayana. Khara, ego. How someone in my land only is coming and attacking, coming and insulting my brother. That too, after Shurpanaka provoked him, it increased more. Ego, Ahankara came in, anger, thoughtlessness. He did not know. Thoughtless is, he did not think of the other part of the story at all. Only one thought, my sister is attacked, I have to take revenge. And he did not even know about the reality, what exactly has happened, what exactly his sister did, that he did not even put efforts to know about that, and that how ultimately that resulted in loss. Next, so this was Sarga 21. Next, Sarga 22, Aranyakanda. Khara now says, now this is something terrible. Merely sending 14 demons or so would not suffice for Rama. He sends Chaturdasha Sahasrani, 14,000 demons. Khara, he tells, I'm taking a sankalpa, I'm taking a vow to kill Rama. he asks his brother Dushana to get the army of 14,000 demons, and the entire army, along with Khara and Dushana, both go along with the army, and they go to the place where Rama was there. Khara sees, and while he was approaching, he sees that he come across some bad omens also. And he says that Rama is just a mere human being. Let me not pay heed to all these humans. I'll just let me proceed further. And at that time, all gods also were witnessing this war between Rama and Khara. Khara's ahankara. Mahotpataatiman sarvan utthitan ghoradarshanan na chintayamyaham viryat balavan He says, I'm not going to take all these omens seriously at all because I'm strong, I know, I do not care for anything. देवराजमपि क्रुद्धो मत्तैरावतयागिनं वज्रहस्तं रणे हन्यां किं पुनस्तौ पुमानुषौ. He says, when I'm angry, I can also kill the king of gods, Indra, along with his elephant, Airavata. So, what to think about these two human beings? So, even now, if you see, Ahankara was so much in Khara. Now, the 14 demons whom he had sent initially, they were killed. But in spite of that, also, he did not learn a lesson that, okay, maybe this person is not a normal human being or so. Those 14 demons were never before killed by anyone. They used to go and always defeat anyone who comes their way. Khara did not have the need to go at all. He did not have the need to send his 14,000 armies. For the first time, someone has killed those 14 demons. Even then, he did not realize. The same thing happened with Ravana also. And this many times, Mandodari, his wife, had told him that never before it has happened that you have lost all your sons, you have lost all your family members. Forget about lost and getting killed. No one has even defeated them. This is the first time something like this has happened. So at least now you should open your eyes and think. But Ravana did not listen because ahankara, ego was something. And this tries to teach a lesson that ego is something which can put us down. Now, even though we from inside, from within, we know Ravana, it was not that he did not know about this. From inside, he was always worried that yes, I'm losing my children, I'm losing everything that was there. Lastly, I myself am remaining. Maybe all the people, be it Kumbhakarna, be it Indrajit, or all my other sons, Akshay Kumara, first one who was killed by Hanuman. After Hanuman crosses the ocean and destructs Ashokavana, Akshay Kumara was killed. Even at that time, also, no one had ever defeated Akshay Kumara before. This is not a normal monkey. From within, he knew this, but still, Ahankara, arrogance was, you can say, puffing so much that even after, in spite of knowing many things, he did not react or he did not do the right things, which ultimately brought about his own defeat. Same thing happens with Khara. Devaraj, this he says, how can even Indra also I can defeat? Then what to talk about these two normal human beings? Rama again he prepares himself. Now Rama also sees bad omens and he says that surely maybe a war is going to start in demons are going to be attacked, both Lakshmana and Sita. Now Rama here he pays heed to these omens. He says, okay, now maybe some war-like situation is going to come. He tells Lakshmana and Sita to be safe and he prepares himself to face Khara. Khara did not do this. Khara he took all these omens not very seriously. Rama did this. And finally now all the Devas, Siddhas, everyone in heaven is wondering how Rama will fight with all these demons. And Rama slowly he makes all arrangements and he is ready to face the war. Rama kills a large number of demons. The detailed description is given in Sarga 25 how Rama faced demons Khara and Dushana. And now Rama had only his bow and arrow, whereas the Asuras they had all different kinds of weapons that were there. But still, Rama he uses his strength properly to prove himself. And finally, at the end of the war, all the demons were killed. ते रामेशरवर्षाणि व्यसृजन् रक्षसां गणाः शैलेन्द्रपिबधाराभिः वर्षमाणा महाघनाः. Now the demons they used to pour. Now there are 14,000, Rama is one. 14,000 arrows continuously used to pour on Rama, just like rains fall. Rama was fighting all of them. तानि मुक्तानि शस्त्राणि यातो धानैः स राघवः प्रतिजग्राह ऋषिकैः नद्योघानि वसागरः. Now Rama also gave them a good back answer that was there, like river. If they were pouring arrows like rains, he was pouring arrows like rainwater. So like river water. So this was the a very good comparison made by Valmiki. So Rama was also very swift in reacting back. Further, विषेदुर्देवगन्धर्वाः सिद्धाश्च परमर्षयः एकं सहस्रैर्बहुभिः तदा दृष्ट्वा समावृतम्. Now, seeing Rama all alone, the gods, Gandharvas, Siddhas, all of them became very worried and sad. Asankhyeya Suramasya Sayakashtapamandalat Vinishpe Durati Vogra Rakshah Pranapahariಣः. Number of arrows were being sent by Rama in order to kill the demons. Finally, Dushana and his army was killed. So Rama first fights with Dushana. Now Khara, he tells. Now Dushana's brother is also killed. Many army demons are killed. Many demons are killed. Now Khara tells others to fight. And now, finally, what happens is towards the end of Sarga 26, everyone is killed except for Khara and Trishiras. Ramashchastrabratamaham. This is a very famous line that is there. ततो रामस्सु संक्रुद्धः क्षुरेणास्य महद्धनुः चिच्छेद समरे वीरः चतुर्भिश्चतुरोहयान्. Rama, what he did is he broke the bow of Dushana and with 4 arrows he cut his 4 horses to pieces. हत्वा चाश्वान् शरैस्तीक्ष्णैः अर्धचन्द्रेण सारथेः शिरोचहर तद्रक्षः त्रिभिर्विव्याधवक्षसि. Horses were killed, charioteer was killed. Now finally, at Dushana's chest, 3 arrows were shot and he was also killed. तस्यापि पतमानस्य दूषणस्य सराघवः द्वाभ्यां शराभ्यां चिच्छेद सहस्ताभरणौ भुजौ. Now Dushana was also not a very, you can say, easy warrior to fight. He was also trying to retaliate, fight back with Rama. Rama somehow cut off his arms also. स्थूलाक्षस्याक्षणी तीक्ष्णैः पूरयामास सायकैः दूषणस्यानुगान् पञ्च सहस्रान् कुपितक्षणात् बडौगैः पञ्चसाहस्रैः अनयद्यमसादनम्. Now, Stula Akshaha, meaning it is a name of an, you can say, a weapon or so, wherein 5,000 arrows were shot at once. Stula Akshaha is one you can say one big arrow or a weapon-like thing when you have sharp arrows. And in anger, he shot 5,000 arrows at 5,000 followers of Dushana who were remaining, and all of them went to heaven, went to the abode of Yama, that is, they attained death. Finally, Rama kills Trishiras also, who was the chief of the army. Now Trishiras, till then, Dushana was killed, many demons were being killed, 5,000 demons at one go were being killed. So obviously Khara was getting worried. Trishira still tries to console Khara that let me fight with Rama, and fight and come. Ultimately he is also killed in battle. ततो हतरता तस्मात् उत्पतन्तं निशाचरं बिभेद रामस्तं बाणैः हृदये सोऽभवज्जडः. Now सायकैश्चाप्रमेयात्मा सामर्शस्तस्य रक्षसः शिरांस्य पातयद्रामो वेगवद्भिस्त्रिभिः शरैः. That demon here in this reference means Trishira. Now demon was hit on his chest. Now he lost his chariot. His chariot was first attacked. So then he was on foot. While he was just about to run, at that time Rama killed an arrow. And then finally the head of the demon was also killed, and so on. Finally Trishiras is also killed. Now final Sarga 28 talks about the war that takes place between Rama and Khara. Now 13 arrows of Rama have been mentioned here. So in order to attack Khara, he used 13 arrows. ततोऽस्य युगमेकेन चतुर्भिश्चतुरोहयान् षष्ठेन तु शिरः सङ्ख्ये खरस्य रथसारथेः त्रिभिस्त्रिवेणून् बलवान् द्वाभ्यामक्षं महाबलः द्वादशेन तु बाणेन खरस्य सशरं धनुः छित्त्वा वज्रनिकाशेन राघवः प्रहसन्निव त्रयोदशेनेन्द्रसमो बिभेद समरे खरम्. Rama broke Khara's chariot with 1 arrow, 4 horses with 4 arrows, charioteer with the 6th, then 3 others. The main pole by which the chariot is supported, that was broken by 3 arrows. So you have the flag and all that on up. That is the main pole. Then the axle of the arrow, the wheels and so on, that was broken. Then arrows and bows that were broken with the 12th. And finally, Khara lost everything. Only his physical body was remaining. With that he pierced. So with the 13th arrow, Rama killed Khara. So this is a description of 13 arrows of Rama that he used in order to kill Khara. Next is, but still, Though the 13th arrow it pierced and ultimately it led to the loss of Khara, still life did not go away very easily. And Rama at that time he tells that all your past karmas now giving you the fruits and so on. And still at this time now you are ultimately going to be killed because I have pierced the arrow on your chest. Still Khara does not give up even at that last minute, and he has a mace in his hand. His bow and arrow was lost. Even after the arrow has pierced inside him, still he throws the mace at Rama. उद्वेजनीयो भूतानां नृशंसः पापकर्मकृत् त्रयाणामपि लोकानाम् ईश्वरोऽपि न तिष्ठति. Rama tells Khara, one who does wicked deeds, who cause trouble to others, you will not survive. Even if you are the lord of the three worlds, if you are practicing adharma, you will not survive at all. कर्मलोकविरुद्धं तु कुर्वाणं क्षणदाचर तीक्ष्णं सर्वजनो हन्ति सर्वं सर्वं दुष्टमिवागतम्. He says, if you're doing something evil, you will also have to reap the fruits of the same. लोभात् पापानि कुर्वाणः कामाद् वा यो न बुध्यते भ्रष्टः पश्यति तस्यान्तं ब्राह्मणीकरकादिव. Just as a lizard eats something and then it rides like a hailstone has been mentioned here. Again, these are all comparisons, similes that are used. Out of that, you also, if you commit sinful acts out of greed or passion without knowing, like even now, you maybe you're not realizing that whatever you're doing is out of ahankara, ego, passion, and so on. Ultimately, one fine day it will bring about your own loss. न चिरं पापकर्माणः क्रूरा लोकजुगुप्सिताः ऐश्वर्यं प्राप्य तिष्ठन्ति शीर्णमूला इव द्रुमाः. Cruel people will not remain prosperous. Maybe currently for a short duration they feel that they can rule over everything, but one fine day it will bring about their loss. The same thing has happened to you. अवश्यं लभते जन्तुः फलं पापस्य कर्मणः घोरं पर्यागते काले द्रुमाः पुष्पमिवार्धवम्. He says, just as trees they bear flowers at the right season, so also you will surely get the phala of your karma that is there. If it is sinful, if you're doing some wrong deeds, you will get fruits as per that. If you do good deeds, you will get fruits for your good karma. Finally, Rama kills, and now already the arrow has been pierced, but still life has not gone. And still now Khara does not give up. He has lost all his weapons. He hurls a mace, Gadha Rama. Now what he does is he tries to pick up the root, the trunk, sorry, of a sal tree, and he tries to shoot. At that time, what happens is Rama tells, "Let me shoot another arrow that is there, which was given to him by Indra. By this, he will surely be killed." And finally, Khara is killed. Lakshmana and Sita were staying inside safely a cave, and they come out. They return once Rama had killed. नीचस्य क्षुद्रशीलस्य मिथ्यावृत्तस्य रक्षसः प्राणानहं हरिष्यामि गुरुत्मानमृतं यथा. Rama tells Khara, you have a lot of pride, ahankara, and so on. So just as Garuda carried off the nectar, now there is a story behind this, wherein his mother, Garuda's mother, Vinata, and so on. Now, once it so happened that you can say Garuda's stepmother, Kadru, she was a mother of the Nagas. She wanted for her son's nectar, that is there, they wanted to live long. Because Kadru was the stepmother of Garuda, she had kept Garuda's mother Vinata under her control. So therefore Garuda wanted to free her, and therefore Kadru tells a lot of conditions. You bring Amrita for my sons, you bring Amrita for their long life, and so on. Garuda does that. He steals. So that is the reference here. He carries away, basically. Not steals. He fights with them, he carries away in order to safeguard his mother. अद्यते छिन्नकण्ठस्य फेनमुद्भुतभूषितं विरारितस्य मद्बाणैः महीपास्यति शोणितम्. He says, now with my arrows your throat will be split open and then you will finally die. This is something which are qualities of a good human being which are there in Rama. The same thing was already there in the Tapaswadhyaya Niratam, the 14 gunas, or you can say, sorry, 16 gunas, right? 16 gunas that are there, which were told, which were asked by Valmiki to Narada in the initial conversation, the beginning of Ramayana. Valmiki asks a question, you tell me about a person who possesses these 16 qualities, and at that time Rama tells. Jataroshasya bibhyati, free from rosha, that is it. Jataroshaha, uh, Gudavan, Viryavan. Now, Jataroshaha, to be very specific, is from not discriminating at all. And basically, what else you can call? Mm, to be not discriminating is one thing, and mainly to be free from all kinds of troubles that are there, and maybe to not, you can say, to not be afraid of anything, to face whatever comes in. This is one thing that is included in Jatarosha. And at the same time, Jataroshasya Bibhyati, another meaning to this is it also means Bibhyati, to be afraid. To be afraid of, you can say, if I do wrong, something wrong will happen. So here, why was Rama afraid? That is not, Rama was not afraid as such, but then we sure, all of us also, it's not a question of being afraid, but surely we feel, okay, if I do this, something might happen. So little we are cautious, right? So you can consider somewhat being cautious and aware, unlike let anything happen, even if my life is gone, it is fine, but I will not give up on ahankara. That is wrong. So that somewhat you can consider that. Jata roshasya bipyati. Gunavan, Viryavan, Dharmagnaha, Kritatnyaha, always speaking the truth, valorous, having good qualities, following dharma, having compassion, दृढ़व्रतः, very firm, चारित्र्येण युक्तः, very good personality, सर्वभूतेषु हितः, thinking about the welfare of others, विद्वान, great scholar, समर्थः, composed, प्रियदर्शनः, very good looking also, आत्मवान, he is aware of his inner self also, जितक्रोधः, having a control on one's anger, जितिमान, अनसूयकः, having good qualities, having a good mindset, and so on. So Rama, he showed all these qualities while he killed Khara and all the other demons in Janasthana. Next. Now, next, what happens is, now here, destiny, when everything goes good, at that time, destiny has to play a role. For this, Ramayana is the best example. Now, what is that? Akampana was one person who was left. So basically, when we say 14,000, there is some confusion. Sometimes people say no, it is only 13,999 because one Akampana escaped. Some says it is 14,001. So that one extra that is there, that is Akampana. Like this, basically, you can consider one person escaped, and that was Akampana. He escapes to Lanka and he tells Ravana what exactly has happened in Janasthana. So before Shurpanaka going now, the story that we know is Shurpanaka goes and cries out to Ravana. That too happens, but before that, Akampana had already gone to tell all this. And Akampana describes the strength of Rama, and immediately Ravana took a decision that Rama has to be killed at once. Now, Akampana feels, now looking at the prowess and how Rama had defeated Khara, Dushana, Trishiras, how the 14,000 demons, Akampana gives an idea to Ravana that first you abduct Sita because that will be the only means for you to do this, to achieve, to wage a war. But then the other story that goes is Shurpanaka tries somehow to lure, you can say, attract Ravana towards Sita. She is very beautiful, you should make her wife, and so on. That is another part. Whereas Akampana mainly was a person who had escaped and somehow he persuades Ravana in order to abduct Sita. तस्यापहरभार्यां त्वं प्रमथ्यतु महावने सीतया रहितो रामो न चैव हि भविष्यति. Gives advice to abduct Rama's wife by force, and automatically he will give up life, he will not fight at all. आख्याता केन सीता सा मित्ररूपेण शत्रुणा त्वया राक्षसशार्दूल को नो नन्दति नन्दितः. Now he says, now all the statements are being made wherein he says, who's that enemy who has told you about Sita? So Sita mainly, now there is someone, now before this, why this verse Akampana tells is because Ravana, Shurpanaka has already come and told Ravana about Sita. So therefore, he has it in his mind that he should make Sita his wife and so on. He has developed good feelings for her. At that time, Akampana very nicely twists, he says, no, don't look at her with that perspective. You have to abduct her. Your main objective is to just keep her away from Rama. Rama automatically will give up on his life, he will not fight, and so on. His life will end, he will lose all his strength because his weakness is Sita. You think in this objective, not about anything else. Now, finally, he says, he also gives an idea. Kapara tells, you go and ask your uncle, his mama, Maricha, to help you with this. And Maricha finally, Ravana calls Maricha to Lanka. Karmana kena kenasi kapatham pratipaditah sukasuktasya te rajan prahritam kena murdhani. Maricha, now Ravana comes. Sorry, I told you the other way around. Ravana goes to meet Maricha in the forest. Now, Maricha basically earlier, while Rama and Lakshmana were there along with Vishwamitra, already Maricha had suffered a blow. His brother Subahu was killed, his mother Tadaka was killed, but Maricha was left alive. That was destiny. Because later Maricha had a role to play. Ultimately, he had to be killed by Rama only, but at a later period. So at that time, he realized that my brother is killed, my mother is killed, I have also suffered great injuries, I should give up. And he turned out to be a tapasvi, but his mind was not so strong that now that Ravana had come and he tried to twist his mind, he tried his level best, but he could not persuade Ravana. So therefore, Maricha, he tells Ravana that you please go back. Who has advised you all this? Don't do this. And because I have already faced, so out of experience, I'm telling you that what you're going to do is very much wrong. प्रसीद लङ्केश्वर राक्षसेन्द्र लङ्कां प्रसन्नो भव साधु गच्छ त्वं स्वेषु दानेषु रमस्व नित्यं रामः स भार्यो रमतां वनेषु. Marisha advises Ravana, you please go to Lanka, stay there happily, you enjoy yourself, you be with your wives in their company. Let Rama be with his wife in the forest. Let's not disturb each other's life. Let everything, whatever is happening, let it go about. Only then things will happen well. Finally, now Shurpanaka has reached Lanka. Now, she was also very smart. Now, Rakshasas who are there, or even normal human beings for that matter, when someone praises us, automatically happiness and pride pops up. And oh wow. Maybe now, out of 10 things that someone tells us, maybe only one or two are correct. Others, maybe the person just adds a lot of, you can say, this, that, and tries to show it in a very big picture, but we like it. Hear our own praises. Maybe we might not show it outside, but still, if someone praises us, oh, what you told was very good today, or what you did was very good, I liked it, so something like that. Even a small thing if someone tells, we feel very happy. See how he's telling about me. So, automatically, pride comes in. This is human nature. So, what to talk about Rakshasas? So, Shurpanaka very smartly, she first praises Ravana. You're the Lord of the three worlds, you're so powerful, you have so much strength, this, that, you have all the riches, you have everything under your control. And after doing a lot of tapasya, you asked a lot of boons from Brahma. One of that was nobody should kill you, but only one person you missed out, that is man. And it seems that when he asked for a boon that nobody should kill me, in that he includes everything animals, birds, other Rakshasas, Devas, everyone. But he forgets one person, that is man. Brahma even reminds him that you have not mentioned man. In spite of that reminder, Ravana says, what will a normal common man do to me? Nothing can be done. And that's when ultimately Vishnu had to take the form of Naravatara, that is Rama, and had to kill Ravana. The Shurpanaka, she tells, Shurpanaka, Sarga 33, in all she tells that how a king can ruin himself, what can bring about his downfall, and what exactly now Ravana is lacking. Because now, why she tells all this is Ravana did not know the news of Kara and Durshana until Akampana and Shurpanaka have come and told her. So basically, he was living in his own kingdom. Now you imagine Janasthana is in India, the central part of India. Lanka is in Sri Lanka, right? So there was no means wherein the news will reach him at all. And then like these different things, Shurpanaka keeps on telling him that you don't know what is happening around, and you're just enjoying with your vice, with your riches, just sensual pleasures, this and that, and so on. So like this, all this Rama, Shurpanaka is telling. Saptam ग्रामेषु भोगेषु कामवृत्तं महीपतिं लुब्धं न बहुमन्यन्ते श्मशानाग्निमिव प्रजाः. He says you are just attracted and addicted to pleasures at all. People are not going to respect you, just as an Agni that is there. Now, why here this Shmashanagni Miva Prajaha? Now, Agni Bhagwan or Agni is always respected, or rather, it should always be respected. When we light a lamp in our house, also, we are very careful, right? That we keep it in such a way that wind, airflow will not happen, the lamp should not, you can say, blow away, or it should not doused down by itself. So we take care of that. Or even when we light, so usually fire Agni. To do some puja for everything Agni is there, we have to respect Agni. But only one Agni is not that much respected, that is a fire which we light in the crematorium. The Smashana Bhumi, only that is not given much respect. Apart from that, all the Agnis are given respect. So here Shurpanaka makes this comparison. She tells, no, you are like that. Useless you are, like the fire that is used in the Smashana Agni. Smashana Bhumi. आत्मवद्भिर्विगृह्य देवगन्धर्वदानवैः अयुक्तचारश्च फलः कथं राजा भविष्यसि. You have just created enmity with everyone around you. And how come you become such a king? She asks. And how long will you live? त्वं दुलुब्धः प्रमत्तश्च परदीनश्च रावण विषये स्वे समुत्पन्नं वयं यो नावबुध्यसे. He says, she says, you don't know what has happened in your kingdom. You're always under other control. You're under the control of your sensual pleasures. This, that, everything. अतिमानिनमग्राह्यम् आत्मसम्भावितं नरं क्रोधिनं व्यसने हन्ति स्वजनोऽपि महीपतिम्. He says, a king like you will be murdered or will be killed by his own subjects who are very arrogant, this, that. Now, why she is telling all this is to provoke Ravana and to make Ravana aware that he is not fighting for her rights and so on. So directly she does not come to the point. Indirectly she provokes Ravana and all such words. So Shurpanaka is a very good, you can say, rather than good, the way she puts her points, very very shrewd character. नयनाभ्यां प्रसुप्तोऽपि जागर्ति नयचक्षुषा त्यक्तक्रोधप्रमादश्च स राजा पूज्यते जनैः. He says you're actually blind. You keep both your eyes shut. Whereas a true king who is there, though even at night time, though both his eyes are shut, he always keeps the eye of good governance open. It seems he'll always be free from anger, he'll always remain alert, and such a person will always be respected by his subjects. Finally, now Ravana questions what happened, why are you speaking all this and so on. At that time now Shurpanaka slowly talks about Rama's skills. And here now Akampana directly comes to the point saying that all this has happened. So now what you do is directly you have to wage a war, you abduct Sita. The same advice both Akampana and Sita are giving. But the way they portrayed is different. Sita should be abducted because she is a weakness of Rama. This is what Akampana tells. Shurpanaka, she puts it in a more nice way because Shurpanaka's reason is more convincing for Ravana. She tells Sita's beauty is something beyond imagination. You should always make her as your wife. You should put in efforts for that, this and that. And this was something which you can say captivated, attracted the mind of Ravana, and he set out. But ultimately, the solution that both Akampana and Shurpanaka gave was to abduct Sita. So now, Ravana again, he goes to meet Maricha. Now, initially, when he goes, Ravana, Maricha had sent him back, right? Now again he goes, and when he passes about, different scenes are there. And then there is a story of Garuda and a banyan tree, where Garuda ate an elephant also. This story I will tell you next time. Now, we don't have time. Otherwise, this topic will go. The story comes in the Aranyakandam, wherein Garuda and this tortoise elephant story next time. And finally, now Ravana reaches Maricha's hermitage. Ravana asks, he tells what all has happened. And he tells, I want to abduct Sita. Now I've come here to seek your help. पित्रा निरस्तः क्रुद्धेन सभार्यक्षेण जीवितः सहन्ता तस्य सैन्यस्य रामक्षत्रियपांसनः. Now he knows the entire story of Rama. The same he conveys to Maricha. Rama, he has been banished from his kingdom. He is living here and he is a demon. He has killed the army of demons. He is our enemy. दुःशीलः कर्कशस्तीक्ष्णो मूर्खो लुब्धो जितेन्द्रियः त्यक्तधर्मो ह्यधर्मात्मा भूतानामहिते रतः. Now here, all this Ravana is telling about Rama. He is a man of bad conduct. He is harsh. He is stupid. He is a slave to his senses. He is ready to kill others because he killed his own men. Right? So therefore, Ravana is telling all this. Maricha says, तस्य रामकथां श्रुत्वा मारीचस्य महात्मनः शुष्कं समभवद्वक्त्रं परितप्ता बभूवः. Just by listening to the name of Rama, Maricha's mouth started drying up because he has actually experienced the wrath of Rama, how he had miles when initially Maricha and Subahu, when they were attacked by Rama, Subahu was killed. Maricha was thrown miles away. He fell inside an ocean, it seems. So he remembered all that. Oshtau paririhunchushkau netraira nimishayriva vridabhutivardhastu ravanam samudaikshatha. His dried up mouth he started licking and his eyes also stopped winking and he just kept on staring at Ravana. On Richa's advice, he says, give up this idea. And he explains the greatness of Rama, Sita, and so on. Sulabha Purusha Rajan Satatam Priyavadinaha Apriyasya Dupathasya Vakta Shota Cha Durlabaha. He tells Ravana, one who speaks always good words about you. So something which is very pleasing, that is very easy to find such people who will talk goody goody, but it is very difficult to find a speaker and a listener who initially little it becomes considered difficult or harsh to listen, but that will only be the ultimate reality, ultimate truth, and later it will also benefit you. Apite jeevitantaya notpanna जनकात्मजा अपि सीता निमित्तं च न भवेद्व्यसनं मम. Here now Marisha little gives a hint to Ravana that let not Sita become the cause of your death. So therefore because of her I should also not face any disaster. This is what Marisha keeps praying and he wants Ravana also. Then let's give up this idea. Abhitwamishwaram prapya kamavrittam nirankusham न विनश्येत् पुरी लङ्का त्वया सहसा rakshasa. I hope that because of this, the entire city of Lanka should not be destroyed. The entire race of demons will come in. Therefore, you have to be very, very careful. Now, Maricha predicts what all is going to happen, all the future consequences very nicely. त्वद्वेदः कामवृत्तो हि दुःशीलः पापमन्त्रितः आत्मानं स्वजनं राष्ट्रं स राजा हन्ति दुर्मतिः. King like you is always on the evil path, will destroy himself at the same time also his kith and kin, people around him. Ramo vigrahavan dharmaha sadhu satya parakramaha raja sarvasya lokasya devanamiva vasavaha. Very, very important and popular verse, Maricha's description of Rama. So he says Rama is a personification. Rama is Dharma himself. He always speaks the truth. He is very pious, very righteous, and he is a king of all the three worlds. जीवितं च सुखं चैव राज्यं चैव सुदुर्लभं यदीच्छसि चिरं भोक्तं मा कृथा राम विप्रियम्. Marisha again warns, he tells Ravana that you don't go against Rama. If you want to enjoy life, always be happy and safe. Do not fight or do not go against Rama at all. And now Marisha tells him how what exactly happened when I first met Rama. So at that time, Rama was very young, hardly 12 years old, 11, 12 years old boy, what he had done then. Today, so many years have passed, so you just imagine his strength now. And he again advises Ravana that you please, very peacefully, you go back to Lanka, stay there happily, don't even think about getting in the way of Rama. Now, here Maricha's advice is more important because Maricha had actually experienced what he had seen. Right? So, he had seen the valor, he had seen the strength of Rama, so he knew what exactly will happen. So, the same thing he advises Ravana. Now, Ravana gives a counteraction. He says, if you speak all this, क्रीडारति विधिज्ञानां समाजोत्सवशालिनां रक्षसां चैव सन्तापम् अनर्थं च हरिष्यसि. And now Ravana little he gets angry and he just gives us angry looks. And that time now Maricha again he adds on. He further tells, because of your actions it will bring about grief and disaster to all the people of Lanka and all the demons who are now living happily in a very celebrative mood. You will bring about even their loss. हरण्यप्रासाद संवादा नानारत्न विभूषिता रक्षसि त्वं पुरीं लङ्कां विनष्टा मैथिलीकृते. He'll say that everything will be ruined for the sake of Sita, to abduct this one Sita. For that, you will ruin everything. Your entire Lanka will be lost, all the riches will be lost. So, please think on this again. अकुर्वन्तोऽपि पापानि शुचयः पापसंश्रयात् परपापैर्विनश्यन्ति मत्स्यानागरदे यथा. It's just like it's because of your papa karma. the sin that is caused by you, because and other pure souls also, because they keep company with sinners like you, they will also be destroyed. Just like lot of fishes, if there is a lake full of snakes and the fishes are not aware, they also live in that lake peacefully, the snakes will come and attack the fishes, the innocent fishes will lose their life. Similarly, there are people around you, sinners like you. Maricha is telling all this to Ravana. Ultimately they will also lose their innocent lives, so please think about all this. Divya chandana digdangan divyabharana bhushitan rakshasya vihitan bhumau tava doshat durakshasan. Now the demons are wearing excellent garments and ornaments. They have a lot of sandal paste all over their body. And they will also lose all of this because of your mistakes and evil deeds that you are planning to do. Now Maricha again expresses. So Maricha continues. You see, two or three sarkas is just mere warning of Maricha to Ravana, but still Ravana's mind does not turn. And Maricha says, वृक्षे वृक्षे च पश्यामि क्षीरकृष्णाजिनाम्बरं गृहीतधनुषं रामं पाशहस्तमिवान्तकम्. He says, I've become so afraid of Rama that in every tree, everywhere, whatever I see, everywhere I see Rama building the bow in his hand like the god of death who's waiting. Abhirama sahasrani vitah pashyami ravana rama bhutamidam sarvam aranyam pratibhati me. I feel that there are thousands of Ramas. The entire forest seems to be like Rama who's waiting to attack all of us. So therefore, this is my fear that is there. Let it not affect us. Further, he says, Ramameva hi pashyami rahite rakshasadipa drishtva swapnagatam ramam udbramani vishetanaha. He says, even in my dreams I see Rama, I become mad. Prakaradini namani ramadrastasya ravana ratnani charathashchaiva trasam sanjanayanti me. He says every nama that begins with ra, such as Ratna, Ratha, even if I hear the letter ra, terror or fear strikes in me. So therefore, becomes very difficult. Same might happen even with you. So therefore, you be careful. बहवः साधवो लोके युक्ता धर्ममनुष्ठिताः परेषाम् अपराधेन विनष्टाः सपरिच्छदाः. He says there are many good people in this world who are doing good things, but because they are in the company of sinful people or they come in company of people committing adharma and mistakes like this, therefore that brings about their own downfall also. So therefore you be very careful and think many times before you take up any action. Next, Ravana very patiently he listens till now, and he was not having any interest in listening to the advice of Maricha. He just replies in one line, all this doesn't matter. You have spoken all this to the king, the lord of the three worlds. Now this is my plan. You just act according to my plan. That's it. Vinashakale viparita buddhihi. This is that is when our times are not in our favor. At that time, sometimes viparita buddhi. Our buddhi also turns in the wrong way. The same thing happened with Rama also. When he looked at the golden deer later, that is Maricha, he knew, Rama from within knew that such a deer does not exist at all. But Vinashakale Viparita Buddhi. And time is against us when destiny has to play its role. Everything goes away, and at that time Rama goes behind. Lakshmana wants him. At that time, anyway, Rama tells it's okay. Even if it is not a deer, also some asura, I will anyway kill it. So there is no loss at all. If it is a deer, I will bring it for Sita. So this was his point of view. And later, whatever had to happen, that was destiny. So Marichasya tu tadvakyam kshamam yuktam cha nishacharaha ukto na pratijagraha mardukama iva ushadham. Ravana did not pay heed to the advice given by Maricha, and he says no. त्वद्वाक्यैर्न तु मां शक्यं भेत्तुं रामस्य संयुगे पापशीलस्य मूर्खस्य मानुषस्य विशेषतः. Now Ravana tells Maricha, what you are behaving like a fool. You're telling me to not have an encounter with Rama, who is foolish and especially an ordinary human being. Manushasya. Yastapta surido rajam mataram pitaram tada स्त्रीवाक्यं प्राकृतं श्रुत्वा वनमेकपदे गतः. He says, what you're talking about this Rama? He just heard the words of a woman. This reference it is Kaikeyi, and he has come left, leaving everything. He has come to the forest, leaving his mother, father, kingdom, everything. What? And you're telling not fight with such a person? Who are you? Such a fool you are. वाक्यम वाक्यमप्रीतकूलं तु मृदुपूर्वं हितं शुभम् उपचारेण युक्तं च वक्तव्यो वसुधाधिपः. He says that when a king is asking to you and is asking and has come to you to ask and tell you something, you should not tell all this. Whereas you should always advise me with politeness and so on, and not something wherein you talk about my downfall and how I will be attacked. गुणदोषौ न पृच्छामि क्षमं चात्मनि राक्षस मयोक्तं तव चैतावत् सम्प्रत्यमितविक्रमः. He says, I am not asking you whether this is good or this is bad. I'm not come here to seek your advice. I'm just telling you what to do. And you have to just do that. So you don't advise me anything whether it is good for me, bad for me, all that I don't need. Whatever I ask you to do, just do that. Maricha finally, but still Maricha does not give up. He gives a final warning to Ravana. अमात्यैव कामवृत्तो हि राजा कापदमाश्रितः निग्राह्य सर्वदा सद्भिः न निग्राह्यो निगृह्यसे. He says good ministers and good counselors should always advise a king. I have done the same thing. So therefore I'm trying to stop you so that some good future consequences, so that some evil, sorry, future consequences can be avoided. राजमूलो हि धर्मश्च जयश्च जयताम्बर तस्मात् सर्वा स्ववस्थासु रक्षितव्या नराधिपाः. He says the king should always be protected at every stage, because if he goes on the wrong path, not only he but the entire kingdom would be affected. बहवः साधवो लोके युक्ता धर्ममनुष्ठिताः परेषामपराधेन विनष्टाः सपरिच्छदाः. He says people who walk on the righteous path, also that is people who are actually good, because of people like you who go on the evil path, even good people will also be affected. अवश्यं विनशिष्यन्ति सर्वे रावणराक्षसाः येषां त्वं कर्कशो राजा दुर्बुद्धिर्रजितेन्द्रियः. And under the rulership of a crooked king, even one's senses were not under control, the demons also will surely perish. आनयिष्यसि चेत् सीताम् आश्रमात् सहितो मया नैव त्वमसि नाहं च नैव लङ्का न राक्षसाः. He says, if you abduct Sita with my assistance, know that your Lanka, you nor demons, none of them are going to survive. निवार्यमाणस्तु मया हितैषिणा न मृष्यसे वाक्यमिदं निशाचर परेतकल्पा हि गदायुषो नरा इदं न गृह्णन्ति सुहृद्भिरीरितम्. He says, this is a word of warning that is coming from a person, I'm your well wisher, and therefore men who go on the wrong path, they will not pay heed. They will not pay heed to any good advice that is given to them. Same thing you are also doing. Now finally, Maricha, he goes to Rama's hermitage as a golden deer. What happens later, we'll see next time.